let's take a look at 5 different 40-ounce cup options. All right, you guys, ever since the Stanley with the handle cup came out, everybody has been loving it, but also some other companies have come out with some really cool 40-ounce cups with handles as well. And these are probably my top 5 favorites. So I wanted to go over them today and kind of show you the differences. I'll also do like a ice test, I think, and see which one keeps ice the longest. But I hope this review is helpful for you and kind of helps you decide which cup would be best for you. Let's start off with the Stanley because this is the cup that kind of started it all. But this is actually a new version to me. This is the 2.0 quencher tumbler. So I've only ever tried the original one, and that one spills pretty bad. So like if you tip it over, it definitely will spill and leak on you. But this one actually has the material right here so that the water won't spill or leak as bad. You can still turn the lid top so that you can kind of drink it that way if you want instead of using the straw. But I like the ability to have the straw and have less of a leak problem. I really like this kind of grippy material they have here on the handle as well. It feels really nice. Now this handle is one that attaches at the top and the bottom. Some of the cups I'll show you are only attached at the top, so you can kind of like maybe hang it on something if you want to. Let me tell you, I left the packaging on purpose so I could easily tell you some of the information. It says this one stays 11 hours cold, 2 days iced, and 7 hours hot. So if you want to do hot or cold, you can in this one. It's also dishwasher safe, which is excellent. Now the next one I'm very excited about, just came out, is the Owala. I've always loved my Owala free sip water bottles. You kind of have a handle here and sip or swig with the cool unique design of this cup. So I was excited to see what they were gonna do with their 40 ounce, and they have a really nice grip right here on the handle. It's a perfect place for your hand to go. And this one is attached at the top and the bottom. Let me show you it compared to the Stanley. 40 ounces, so very similar in the size. But what I do like about the Owala one is the straw is in the center. So when I turn the top and put it on, it doesn't really matter where the top ends up, whereas on the Stanley, I like the straw to be in line with like the logo and everything because it is on the side. So you kind of have to get used to where you kind of start turning the lid on to get it in the right spot, depending on if you want to hold it in this hand or if you want it on this side to hold it in this hand. So I think that Owala made a good choice by putting it in the center so that way it doesn't matter. And with Owala, you can also remove the straw. It does have a piece down here so that the straw won't come through on its own. You have to pull that out, and they also have the same kind of rubber material here so that it won't spill on you, which is awesome. And you can push that back and also swig your drink unlike a regular cup that way, or push that forward and put the straw in and drink it through the straw. So multiple ways there. I'm excited to test these out and do a spill test and see how they do and which ones spill. It does say hand wash is recommended on the bottom of this cup. So probably hand wash this one. I did want to mention different colors and things. The Stanley has been coming out with tons of different colors, but they usually sell out pretty quickly. So they keep coming out or restocking with new colors. The Owala just barely came out, so they've come out with a few starter colors, and I think they'll continue to bring out new colors and designs. But I thought this classic white with the kind of purple accents there was really, really cute. Now I've talked about the reduced bottle before as well, and it's still one of my favorites. It's an awesome cup. It's not one of the lids that screws on. It actually just pops into place wherever you want it to go. This one also has the piece at the bottom there so that won't fall out. I think this one actually is probably going to spill more than the other ones now that those other ones have that rubber piece. But you can remove the straw here. You can put this piece in for the straw, and then you can drink it by lifting this piece and you have that hole there. So again, you can drink it like a regular cup, but this straw piece does not have that rubber detail. So I think this one might actually leak more than the Stanley now, the new Stanley, not the original Stanley, because I think this actually did better than the original Stanley. That one spills really, really easily. So this is the reduce. It does have the handle here that is open on one side and attaches on this side. It does say it's dishwasher safe, comes in lots of different colors. It does feel like a little bit beefier than some of the other ones. Like the Awala one feels a little bit slimmer. This one feels a little bit chunkier at the top. They're all gonna be a similar size at the base. I actually think this one's smaller at the base, but to fit in your different cup holders like in your car. And I think this one's kind of similar. This is the Hydro Peak Voyager, and I think this one's actually a really good price. Compared, I think the Stanley is gonna be your most expensive, and then I think it goes Awala, probably Hydro Peak and Reduce are really similar in price. And then the last one is Simple Modern. So I think that one I found on Amazon for a really good deal. So I think this is gonna be comparable to these last three here in price. But all the ones I'm showing you are going to be less expensive than the Stanley. So it'll be Stanley price or lower. Now Hydro Peak is really beautiful looking. I like how the simple design of it. It does have, again, the opening here for the handle. This does not have multiple ways that you can drink out of the top. When I first got this cup, I was like trying so hard to twist it open. It is not a twist open cup. It's more like the Reduce bottle where you just pop it on wherever you want. Although this one does have the straw right in the center as well. It does have that rubber there, so it's going to be leak resistant, which is really nice. It's kind of hard to pop on and off. I think that this will take a little breaking in or getting used to, I think, but you also know it's not going to spill, so that's good. And it does say that it is 24 hours cold, 10 hot, perfect for your cup holder. It's sweat free. It can go in the dishwasher. Oh, nope, it says hand wash only. So this one is also a hand wash only option. Now, Simply Modern, for some reason, this looks like a slimmer cup to me. Even though it is 40 ounces, it's the same size as the other ones, but like less beefy and a little bit slimmer to me. And out of all the cups here, I mean, I don't know, it's hard to choose, but I feel like this one looks really pretty, and yeah, I love the look of it, because these Stanley ones they're pretty sporty looking, so I think this kind of cup is just, I don't know, it's really cute looking compared to this one. This does come in a lot of different colors, including some like prints. They have like cheetah print, which is really fun. I like how the handle is designed. It's perfect for your hand right there, and it is attached at the top and the bottom. This one is a screw-on top, so you do have to screw on the lid. And the only thing I wish was different is the straw placement isn't in the center, it's on the side, so you do kind of have to figure out where it should go to screw on so that it's in the right spot when you're drinking it. It says SM on the top for Simple Modern. And this one does have the like rubber piece there, so it's not going to spill water as easily. I think I'm gonna do is a spill test, and then also we're gonna put ice in it and see how long the ice will last. Okay, it has been 24 hours, so I have them all lined up here. I just took the lids off. So this one is the Simple Modern one, and it actually has a good amount of ice left in there. And when I first put the ice in, I tried to kind of put a similar amount. This one looks pretty good too. It has a tiny bit more water in it than the Simple Modern one does. Over here, this one is the Reduce bottle. That one has a lot of water in it, so the ice did not stay as cold as in some of the other ones I just showed you. And then here is Awala. This one has like a similar amount to the Hydro Peak bottle. It has some water in there with the ice. And then this is the Stanley, which also has some water in there. Looking at the ice in person, I would actually say the ones that did the very best are going to be the Stanley and the Simple Modern one. And then next would be Awala and Hydro Peak, and then the Reduce bottle is probably in last place for the ice test. Let's do a spill test without the straw. Let's see how this does. Oh, awesome. Okay, so that is the 2.0 version of the Stanley. You can see not very much spilling, which is great. definitely better than it was before. So that is a good improvement from the first version. You can see it's still, you know, a little water coming out, but if you tip it over like in the car or something, you'll have a little bit of time to be able to pick it up before it spills all over, which was not the case with the previous version. If it spilled, it's gonna spill really fast. So that is actually an improvement from the first version of the Stanley. Let's see how Owala does. Okay, so a tiny bit of water spilling out. You can see, again, I think this is actually doing, oh, awesome. It's not even, it's like barely spilling. And it's all the way upside down. So that's really good. I think this is actually better than the Stanley. That's really good. Okay, it did like drip for a second and then it stopped and completely stopped spilling. So that was Owala. That was really good. Let's check out the Reduce. If you don't have the straw in it, you would close this section right there. And let's see how this does. Again, tiny bit of spilling there, little drops, but really not too bad. I think after a second it'll kind of stop as well, like the Owala did. Again, this is full, all the way full with water. So that scares me a little bit with how this lid goes on. It's not one of the screw-on lids, you just push it on, but it seems to be doing just fine. And again, there is just a little bit of dripping happening. So I think the Owala is still the winner. So let's see how the Hydro Peak does. And this feels like it goes on really nice and tight. Let's see. Okay, a little bit of dripping. And I guess when I move it, that's when it drips. If I just stay still, it's not dripping anymore. It's staying in there. So if I move, it'll kind of drip out. But I think this one is probably right in line with the Owala. I think they're kind of tied right now for the spill test. Now let's check out the Simple Modern. Now this one is different because it is a screw-on lid. And this one looks like it should be really spill-proof, but yeah, that is super spill-proof. Like no drops, nothing is coming through that. Oh, a little drop there. I'm shaking it. Nothing's coming out. This cup was not really on my radar before, but having it in person, this is a pretty great cup. I also wanted to show you that the different straws, they're all really similar except for the Simple Modern one and the Reduce one seem to be a little bit bigger, like wider than the other ones. The Simple Modern one might be like the biggest. So you can get more water in one gulp, I guess. Yeah, you guys, after going through these, I thought the new Stanley was gonna be my favorite, but I think that my favorites are actually, this one is probably number one. The Simple Modern one, it's not spilling. I like the handle here, it feels really good. I really like the design and shape of this one. I think it's really pretty and cute looking compared to some of these other ones. I think the only thing which I mentioned before is I wish this was in the center, which is why I think the Owala would be my next favorite, because I love that the straw is in the center of the cup, so that way it doesn't matter how you screw on the lid. And again, I like the look of the Owala one. It did really well on the spill test and the ice test. And that's not to say the Stanley isn't great, because as you saw from the ice test, this one definitely kept the ice nice and cold, but it still has a little bit of the spilling issue that I don't see as bad from these other two styles that I like. And the Hydro Peak is really a pretty cup as well. This one and the Reduce one have the open handle here. You can like hang on something like a camping chair or whatever. So these are also really convenient. So that's not to say that the Hydro Peak and the Reduce bottles aren't great cups, and you can find these at really good prices as well. But I think like for cost and looks and how it functioned, I think this one is probably my winner. Which is kind of crazy to say because It wasn't even on my radar. Like I just thought, oh, it's a cute cup. It holds 40 ounces. It has a handle. I think I'll grab it. But I really, really like it. I think next would be the Awala because this is a fun, cute cup as well. I don't know, it's hard. It's a tough decision. And Stanley makes it really hard because they keep coming out with awesome, beautiful colors. So there you go. That is my 2 cents of the 40 ounce handled cups. I would love to know in the comments down below which cup is your favorite, which works best for you if you've tried any of these, or if there's one that you absolutely love that I didn't review today, please let us know that in the comments as well. I would love to get a little conversation going about which cup is best. Everyone is loving. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this cup comparison today, and I will see you guys very soon for my next review.